Hey guys, welcome to the 2 a.m. pipe on the patio. Easter morning edition. Happy Easter, everybody. Smoking my BC, my first pipe. This pipe has evolved into just a wonderful, incredible smoking pipe. And in it, I've got Casey Jones Heroes Blend, which was a gift from Piper 49er up in Alaska. One of my buddies. Need to get in touch with him. I haven't chatted with him in a while. Miss chatting with him. It's the trouble with being back to work and everything. You don't have all that time to keep in touch with people. Got off a couple hours early tonight. Thought I'd get out here on the patio with you guys. It's been a few days, 3 or 4 days since I've been out here. Had a couple busy days. My wife won a scholarship, so Thursday night I got off at 1, got home about 1:30, got in bed at 2, tried to get to sleep as soon as I could, had to get up at 6 and go to her scholarship ceremony at 7 where she received her scholarship, and from the school board, and pretty dang proud of her. She was we'll just say she was the senior recipient there. A bunch of young people and my wife, and so I'm pretty proud of her. She's doing amazing. Boy, that scholarship came in handy, I'll tell you that. God does provide. Living proof of that right here. My wife has been working her hiney off studying for these classes she's taken, and I don't do a lot of talking about my wife, but man, I admire her so much, and she is one of my true heroes in life. She's just an amazing lady, and I am so blessed to have found her and chased her for 7 years before I finally caught her. And she has given me a beautiful family and a beautiful home, and I'm just a lucky man, blessed man. And she's much too smart to have settled for the likes of me, but she did so anyway, and she's a beautiful lady, and she is hotter than Georgia asphalt, I'll tell you that right now. do love that woman. I do love that woman. And she can hold her own with me too. That's what's pretty cool is she can give it to me just as much as I can give it to her, and I love that about her. She made the president's list at college. She won that scholarship. She's doing great. She's doing really great. Right now she's studying physics. So I just call her Sheldon all the time, you know. Okay, Sheldon. Yes, Sheldon. She's way smarter than me. That's no doubt at all. She's the smart one in the family. Opposites do attract. That's a fact. When I look back on it's going to be 27 years we've been married. And we were best friends for 6 years before we ever dated. And not for my lack of trying, but she had really good defenses. And but we were best friends, and we did everything together. And then before we ever became romantically engaged, and I think that's what makes our relationship work, is that we were friends first, and I just love to be around her, and we just do everything together. We love to do everything together, and we very rarely argue or fight. I look back over the 27 years we've been married. I think other than when we very first got married, we've hardly had any fights at all. We had a couple good ones when we first got married, but that was because I was stupid. That was just all my fault. And I take full responsibility for those. I've probably had, out of the 27 years we've been married, I've probably had 26 really great years of marriage, and she's probably had 3 or 4, I'd imagine. Yeah, you know. She's awesome, man. She's She has been a true blessing to me from day one. She's always been encouraging. She's never put me down or told me not to go after the things I've wanted to do in my life and loved to do. She's always encouraged me. And so I've always tried to encourage her and been there for her when she felt she needed to do things, for whether it was for her mom and dad or to be there to take care of them when they were ill. That was the most important thing in her life, and that's what she needed to do. And I think it's important to back your partner up, and in the good times and the bad, and sickness and in health. And it's not only your sickness and their sickness and health, but their family's sickness and health. And if somebody in their family's sick and they need to be there for them, you need to be there for your significant other to help them through that period. And I've seen a lot of marriages end because of stuff like that, where somebody's mom or dad gets sick, and then they go to take care of their mom or dad, and it ruins their marriage, and it's just a sad thing, I always believed when I married my wife, I married her parents. And when she married me, she married my parents. And when people get old, sometimes you have to take care of them. And it's not always a pretty thing to do. And there's things that come along with that cause a lot of tension and friction, and can tear apart a relationship pretty quickly. And it's hard to do. It's not easy. But if you truly love somebody, you'll always be there during that time, because that's when they need you the most. And when you realize that, in my wife's case, her mom had Alzheimer's, and so not only was she going through her mom's illness, but her mom didn't know who she was anymore, and so she lost her mom. Her mom lost her before she lost her mom, and so she lost her mom twice, because her mom lost her, didn't know who she was, and so she lost her mom then because her mom didn't know who she was. And then she lost her mom when her mom passed away. So she wound up losing her mom twice. That's a tough thing to go through, man. I don't think a lot of people realize that, and when you're dealing with Alzheimer's, they don't realize that the person whose parent has Alzheimer's, they don't realize that the child loses their parent twice during that whole process. And that's a tough thing to deal with when you get to the point where your parent no longer realizes who you are, or recognizes you, and doesn't know who you are anymore. That's tough. And so, people will say, well, why do you keep going to visit them if they don't know who you are? It's because you still know who they are. You still remember them. They're still your parent. They may not know who you are, but you know who they are. And you never forget that. My wife and her sister Michelle, they took care of their mom. They made sure her wishes were met, that she got to live all her days in her home, and that was her wish. She did not want to die in a home somewhere. She wanted to live in her house, die in her home, and that's what she got to do. And that was, I think, the most unbelievably generous thing that they could have done for their mom. And it took a lot out of them to do that, but they did it, and it was the most beautiful gift they could have given their mom. And I just have the utmost respect for the both of them. And I don't know that I've ever really truly expressed that to them fully. I know I've told them both how much I thought about what they did, and after their mom passed, I gave them each a necklace and had it engraved with a promise kept and their mom's name on the back of it. And because I thought that was just a tremendous respectful thing they did for their mom. And but anyway, I just kind of got off track here somewhere. Kind of went off into a rabbit hole on that one. But anyway, I'm way over time on this one, so I'm going to cut it off here. Anyway, hope you all have a wonderful Easter. Love all your family. Love everybody you love. I know it's hard to love everybody that you love. I know it's hard to like everybody you love, but there's a great song by Paul Thorne. I don't like all the folks I love, or something like that. Check that out on YouTube. It's a pretty cool song. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. God bless each and everybody. Happy Easter.